Okay, start, sir.
I welcome every student that is here today on this global online diploma course, students from Y.Y.C.I International Academy, and also students of Appleton Private University, UK. I encourage you that you be ready to hear what God has for us in this course. For these 3 months, I will be handling personal developments. And I have set out the outline of what is to be done all the Wednesdays that is there on our lecture material, so we understand where we are heading to and what we are doing. But first of all, today, I want to do introduction so that it helps us to know where we are heading to and what is expected of us. And remember that at the end of every class, I'll be giving an assignment, and wherever you are from the whole world, you write the assignment and send to us so that we can add that to your credit hour and what will be expected of you. First thing is, why personal development? Because that should come into mind. The Bible says, or people make a statement that every right-thinking man wants to know why what happened. And so if we are talking about personal development, why should we talk about personal development? And what is the requirement? As I've stated what we are going to say, I come to let us know that personal development is important and is scriptural. For that reason, we learn certain things in the Bible. When you go to Mark chapter 13 and verse 52, the Bible tells us that, let's say, a student in the Bible school, or who we call a scribe, somebody that has been interpreting the Bible says he must be able to bring out both new and old. You must be able to balance whatever you are doing. Whether you are teaching, whether you are preaching, it must be a balance between the old and the new. Jesus made that statement. He said, every scribe that is seen about the law must bring out things old and new. So that is why we want to look at personal development. Must we remain the way we are now, and then we
Okay. He will rejoin again and continue from there. So let me use this opportunity to appreciate Ambassador Adeshina. Thank you for joining us. Ambassador Lucas, thank you for joining us.
any preacher
And
or Bible
others.
students that have not come to the level of being able to offer things to this our generation is a failure. So that is why we must understand what personal development is all about and why we should develop ourselves personally. Even when you go to John chapter 4, verse 34 and 35, we realize that people could not adopt or live close and listen to what John was doing. But because John was a burning and
Again, this is also another problem we are facing. And I think I'm going to beg Professor Akpabio to record his teaching and send it to us today, if it's possible, because, I mean, in 2 occasions, we have to stop the recording, and it's not really advisable to send this to the university. So, continue,
then what
sir.
to be done is I've sent the thing. I send it again.
Okay. What? Yeah.
Now, so we're talking about why we should develop ourselves. Why we should develop ourselves. So you understand that I took an example and I'm looking at Jesus himself. 4 things about Jesus we should know. So if the master developed himself, then we as Bible students must also develop ourselves. Now, when you look at the scripture, the Bible said there were areas Jesus had to develop himself. In the scripture, in Luke chapter 2, the Bible said Jesus increased in wisdom and in knowledge and was in favor with God and man. That's the first side of development. He was developed academically, he was developed physically, he was developed mentally. And so that made him to be able to be what he was. And even the scripture says he did not want any man to tell him about man because he knew man. That is on personal development. It's a wrong thing for a Bible student, a wrong thing for a preacher or a teacher to teach in darkness. You don't understand the people you are talking to. You cannot read what they are doing. You cannot express yourself. You are then a disciple. So our course is actually bringing out to let people know how we can develop ourselves. I will tell us development will start from when you are in the womb, when your mother carry you in the womb until you die. What do you do within this time? Those are the areas I will be concerned. There is an aspect of unpredicted things. We need to know that the people that listen to you as a student of the Bible or a preacher, they want to see certain things different. When you read the book of Mark chapter 6, you realize the Bible says from verse 1 to verse 4 that when Jesus was teaching, they
We seize this opportunity to still appreciate all our great leaders on this platform, Mr. Olaitan Ogunsanwo, Mr. Soetan Taiwo, Mr. Adelaja Tobi, Mrs. Bola Tito, and Mrs. Temi Tope Odetunde, Mr. Lucas Aderabiayo. And the lesson will continue
into our study in order to help ourselves. So to encourage ourselves, and why we should develop ourselves is really so that we can be relevant. You cannot be relevant in our world when you have nothing to offer. And so by developing yourself, you'll be relevant enough where people will look for you. The Bible says all men look for Jesus because he was different from the scribe. He had something to offer, and those who came to him, they were able to get all that they needed in life. If we know that this is important to develop ourselves, let's look at now the aspect of development, the stages of development in life. And you will know whatever level you are, have you developed that area that we are talking about? We say, first of all, the first aspect of development is the fetus. And that is when you are in the mother's womb. There is a development going on there. And if we are to go on, we see that we must understand where we are going. That what we want to do is to make one to have a transformation, a position that you understand yourself and you understand others. Because if you don't understand yourself, you'll be doubting even the ability to function. So we come now to look at the issue of personal branding. We'll talk about personal branding, personal development, how you can upgrade yourself, what you need to do in order to become a bold person for God and on the pulpit or in a teaching. We are not to be cowards. We are to be what God wants us to do. So here we are looking at how you are going to unleash all the best thing that is in you. So let everyone that is listening to me know that you have the best in your life. And it is the way you present your best that matter. A lot of people may carry something to the market, but some people will look for somebody because he knows how to package it. He knows what to do. When you are here and you hear what we are saying, it will then make it well. Because of the network, let me go straight to the issue of human development. Let's look at that first. Naturally, these are the human developing stages. And after that, from next week, we are going to look at how you must now develop yourself. The first stage of development is called prenatal development stage. And that is when you don't even know yourself. And that is why it is only your mother, God himself, or nature that decide what is going to be. Your father and your mother have been together, and then you have now come as a child in the womb. At such a stage, we say that your development is before your birth. Let us say we didn't know what happened in the womb, and so you cannot decide what you wear and how you wear. But what matters is from the day you reach the earth and you are born into this world, you must now take stock of the way you are. If you are not doing well, you can correct it along the way. That time, at that stage, you don't know what to do. But we come to the second stage, which is infancy and toddlerhood. That is the infancy, and that is a period of rapid physical development, cognitive situation, and emotional development. A child can only cry. He can only shout. He can only laugh because he's passing through a development he doesn't know or she doesn't know. You must understand that when you come to be in the Bible school or preacher, you have passed that level that you didn't know. We sometimes say a slogan to all the pastors that every pastor is bigger than the word I didn't know. If you didn't know, you should have gone to learn. Therefore, before you take up pastoral work, before you take up preaching or teaching, you must know, because it's important for you to know. They say knowledge is power. So when you are at the age of infancy, you may not know anything. We may not bother. But let us say this, that from the time you come to the test that we call early childhood, you must be accountable to whatever is going on. That is development of language, social skill, and cognitive ability. You must come to that state, and when you are at that level, you begin now to develop in language. You now begin to talk better than what you did not talk. There were times you would tell what to do, but now you now develop your language as you are in the Bible school. You have now grown even beyond that. But how did you develop yourself? Your language, your social skill, how to relate with others. Some of us, the way we relate during that time, decide what we are living now, which is our setting, our stand, and our life. But be that as it may, from there we come to the third or the fourth or third one, which we call early childhood, development of language we have mentioned. We come to the middle childhood, that is development of school-related skill. You have now gone to school. They have now started teaching you ABC. Like in the Bible school, what you did not know, they have started teaching you. How are you comparing those words? How are you standing by it to know that I am grown into a place that what I know now will affect me tomorrow? Some of us, when you come even to school or when you come into life, there are certain things your parents might have not let you know, and you lack in that wisdom. As we go on, there is a need that will tell you how you can develop. If you come to see that you were not well trained. And we come to the next step we call the adolescent age. And that is when you have come to the time of identifying formations. You can now identify certain things, identify good and evil. You can know the right thing to do. They will tell you do this or don't do that. If you have passed that level, there is still more of the level. Have you come to the issue of identifying certain actions? Sometimes you hear people say, I didn't know. It is not important to hear such a thing, especially to pastors, to ministers of the gospel, or to Bible students. We come to real adolescent period or time, which we are looking at. Now you have now begun to form a social relationship. You can now relate to others. And I want to say in the Bible school, that relationship goes on. Whom do you relate with? Whom do you work with? What is the picture you show others. That matters much. And that will tell others very well whether you were brought up in a good way or you were not brought up in a good way. As we go on, we see that when you come to the adulthood, which is a time of accountability, there is that aspect of developing of career, developing of family, and developing of personal skill or goals. As a student of the Bible, as a preacher, there must be a development of personal goals. What do you want to become? How do you want to get on? It is not a time to follow others. What you see about others is only helping you to mold your life. Everyone is unique on his own. And you must decide to say, how do I want to develop myself? There are some who go to copy what they should not copy, and they do what is not right. Even in the school, you can have a friend that will lure you into what is not proper. As a preacher and somebody that hold the Bible and you're in the Bible school, you must choose the people you work with so as to develop personal goals. Your personal goal is what affects you, what you know that will build you up. If there is a life you live and you come to see the Bible school and you come to hear that those things will not help, what you need to do is stop there and then go on. We look at the career development. What is the career? What do you want to become? There are some people that feel they want to become one big preacher. God has given every one of us potentials. And that potential is for you to develop and be what God wants you to be. You are not a duplicate of anybody. So know and listen to what we are going to tell you on how you can now develop yourself. Even if you have no formal knowledge about life, in this class, we'll tell you how you can pick up. You might have not been fortunate to go to school, and then you are now. You can pick up where you could not make it, because all is about how we look at ourselves. Development is important. It's a processing work where you come from one stage to the other to make it work. In the lecture material, you will see more of those information of what you do at the age of 3 to the age of 7, at the age of 7 to the age of 11, at the age of 10 and above, at the age of 20 and the age of 30, 40, and when you grow beyond where you are going. So in all of this, we must understand that personal development, one, is natural. Number 2 is workable. And number 3 is experiential. Then number 4 is what we should attain. Is an attainment, is experiential, is workable, and sometimes it is where you come from. Whatever it is, psychologically, we will help you to go the level you need to go so that you can make things go the way it should go. Personal development. I say it as preamble.
I hope we are all enjoying this teaching. This is powerful to me, and I believe we are all enjoying it and learning further informations on these particular personal goals. Personal development. So let's wait for Professor Akpabio to continue. He's going to continue, and then please prepare your questions. We have to continue, sir.
Yes, I will give a time for question in the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
So if you see, what I'm saying here is that there must be a focus on success and visible results. If you are, check what is the result of my work. When you turn back, what have you achieved in life? If you achieve nothing, which means you need this course, and you need to know that personal development is a need of the hour and is going to help you become what you should become. before I go into answering questions, I want to give this assignment so that if the network is giving us some headache, then you make sure you send the assignment and then we know. The first thing that we want to do is take something from
Can somebody help us to type
the
it on the
verses I
chat
just
box?
mentioned. I talk about Mark.
We're just waiting for the assignment. I hope we are all taking our paper, our pen and paper to write the assignment down. And somebody can also help us to write it on the chat box once you get it. So we're waiting for Reverend Professor Akpabio to give us the assignment. He's going to come back and give us the assignment. I want to say thank you so much for your patience this morning. It has been a very tough time this morning, but I want to appreciate us, all of us, for consistently, persistently, waiting patiently to listen and to learn this particular personal development. I believe that we've heard a lot and we've learned a lot, so there's no need for him to do any other recording. He's going to come back to give us the assignment. Now, after that, you can ask your questions. Very important. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this opportunity. Professor Mary Mia is in the house. She's from South Africa, and she's gonna be. I believe that I'm still waiting. I've seen Mr. Abbas's assignment. I've seen Madam Temi Tokwe assignment. I'm still waiting for. I've seen Mr. Basi Mutela, yes, assignment. I'm still waiting for others assignment, please. It's very, because if you say you will leave it to the end, you might miss out some assignment. And the assignment is just for show up the proof that firstly, you learn, you listen, and you understand. So you are now doing the assignment to send to the lecturer so that they can give you the feedback. You know, it's better that we gain better understanding. That is why the assignment is very important. So I'm still waiting for Ambassador Adeshina, Ambassador Lucas, Adarabioyo. I'm still waiting for all our newcomers because I believe that Mr. Olaniyi has told them already about the video to watch through the YYCI.tv. And the assignment is actually on that video. So once you watch it several times, if you want, you can now answer the question, but please send the assignment as soon as possible. Like Professor Mia, I've started a section on Monday, and she has given us she has given us assignment. So I want to expect, if we really want to flow with this, I'm expecting us by now that we get all the assignment. But we're still waiting. Maybe some of you are working hard, some of you are busy, but bear in mind that we are all working together for this diploma, and we want to make use of it properly. We have made this diploma free because it has been sponsored by a group. And that is the more reason why we need to, because if we want to pay individual, it will cost any one of us $499 US. But here we are on this golden place, learning and enjoying this teaching, which I believe that after this diploma, it's not only going to be a certificate, but you've gained a lot to apply to your business, your finances, your personalities, Remember, Reverend Akpabio said, the more you talk about personal development, you are also building your personal branding. I have a lot of questions to ask him when he comes back about that, and he'll be able to answer this question. And I believe that all of you as well, you have your questions to ask Reverend Akpabio. I'm hoping this internet will not disturb him, and he'll be able to come back. We still have about uh, 20 to 30 minutes for him. So I believe that he found a way. I think it's because he's not in the office. He's been out, probably in Abuja or somewhere else. That is why this connection is having problem. And he's also in a meeting. So you have to come out of the meeting to come and teach us on this particular model. So we appreciate him dearly. And we also appreciate Mr. Olaniyi. And Mr. Olaniyi is going to send me the video, which I'm going to offload. I'm waiting for him. And that will be good. So, but please, assignment is very important. That is another way to encourage our lecturers. Remember, this diploma, I've been shying away from it as the global president of Y.Y.C.I International Academy for a long time. But it is now necessary that we welcome that idea of diploma. And when we're doing the diploma, we don't want it to be like we finish it within few days, give you certificate, and then one way or the other, someone is asking you, what exactly did you learn from that diploma course? And you won't be able to share or to tell the person, which is not good enough. Because if you cannot share it, you cannot apply it. Because if you cannot understand it to share it, then you cannot apply it. So what's the point of staying for 1 hour, 30 minutes, learning, and you can't make use of it in life? We're also talking about emotional intelligence. I personally, to be honest with you, for the past 3 years, it's my own secret. Personally, I've been watching and listening to Professor Marin Mia, even though she called me a mentor, but secretly, I'm learning great, and I've applied so many things she said in my own life. It's just all related to one another. We are talking about mindset. We are talking about personal development, and we're also talking about emotional intelligence. You can see how it's woven those. So if you really want to work and develop yourself, the first thing first is for you to shift your mindset to say, yes, I can change myself. Remember, you cannot change others, but you can change yourself. So when you now shift your mindset to say, I am ready to improve myself, to develop myself, to work on my emotions and other things, you will see that so easy for you to even work perfect and to perform well in your workplace, in your business, and even with other people. Why this is so important, you might be asking, just like Reverend Professor Akpabio said, why personal development is so important? Because sometimes we tend to shy away from developing ourselves. Self-care. I know Ambassador Temitope also has some series going on somewhere, which I'm secretly reading and watching on social media about this self-care business. When you take care of yourself, then you are not only adding value to yourself, you are adding value to others. You can perform well, you can operate well, you can become a great leader, an influential leader, a transformational leader. Because it's not only the work that people will focus on, they want to focus on you, yourself. How do you carry yourself? How do you manage yourself? How do you, present yourself in public is very, very important. And that is why I will also let you to know that personal development can lead to success in life. Do you know that you can have degree, you can have all kinds of certificate, diploma, PhD. In my journey of life, I have noticed that it's not enough to have degree to sustain in life. It's not enough to have qualification, to have certificates, lineups, or a series of awards lining up in your show, class, and everything. It's not enough. You still need to develop personal development. You still need to watch the way you present yourself, how you treat others. When we call on influential leaders, what do we mean by that? Influential leaders are those people that influence others. How do you influence others? It all gonna start from your own personal development. Because people watch two things. They watch how you say it and what you are saying. How do you present yourself? So if you are continuing, and personal development is ongoing. I am still developing myself. I'm still visiting my mistakes. I'm still visiting my failures. And I'm still looking at ways I can improve. And that is why it is so important in our circular words that personal development is so important. Because if we can look at that, others will flow in. And that is why we're doing this diploma. It looks like Professor Akpabio couldn't join again, but we will find a way of inviting him back. He will be coming back, I think, next week, but he will definitely send his assignment, which I'm going to send it to the group, and also it will go with this video. I'm so glad that he was able to teach us more on this personal development. So on this note, I would like to say thank you. So without